Welcome to Blue Oranges, the podcast where we dive into whatever's on our minds, from chaotic work stories to our weird book obsessions and late night spirals. Nothing is off limits.
Two friends, countless topics, zero filters. I'm Erin.
And I'm Shelby.
Let's get into it.
Okay, welcome to episode 2.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a minute. It has. Life has been happening.
We've been pretty busy,
Mm-hmm.
but we're back.
We're back.
Ready to talk.
Yeah. I guess let's start by talking about why we've both been so busy.
Yeah, well, do you want to go first or you want me?
No, you start us off.
Okay, well,
what's been going on in your life?
I got Mello.
Yeah.
Mello is officially mine. I adopted a gorgeous baby boy. He's a dog. So I got him, at the beginning of May, and he's been with me ever since. He's a very nervous boy. He's got a rough past. Got him from the shelter. He was there for over a year. So he's on anxiety medication with me. He just got put on allergy medication too. But he's playing with his toys now, coming out of his shell. He's adorable. He is a klutz. Very awkward dude. Doesn't know how to control his body, but it's very funny. So that's what I've been doing.
What's your favorite thing about having a dog so far?
I just think maybe the endless amount of entertainment he brings me.
Yeah, he's a funny dude.
I laugh so much with him. It's amazing. Everything he does is just perfect in the most imperfect way.
That's so fun.
Yes, I love him.
What do you have a funny story about him so far?
I guess I have a couple, but I think the funniest thing about him right now is he's trying to catch toys. We're working on his coordination to be able to do that, and he can't. Well, he did the other day, but he gets so excited that he just spazzes out, and so he can't keep track of the toy in the air, and it is just the cutest little thing. I love it so much.
Nice.
Yes.
Mello. We love dogs.
Sweet little Mello. Speaking of, what have you been up to?
Well, I also adopted a dog. I won't say I was totally just influenced by Erin because I was ready for an animal of some sort.
Yeah, you make your own choices.
But Erin has been accused of being a bad influence on me, her and her roommate, because apparently they influence my decisions.
Which is crazy because you come up with most of the ideas. So if anybody's the bad influence, it's you.
So I was influenced just by the fact that I think you were also ready to get an animal or something, and I was just excited that we would be going through it together.
I will say, had me and Square not planned to go to the shelter, I don't think you would have a dog right now. Yeah, had you not gone with us.
Yeah, I think it would have been a while before I worked up to it, because I also was really contemplating a cat too before I decided on the dog. But after I saw Blackjack online, I just fell in love with him. And then once we met him at the shelter that day that we went to meet Mello for the first time, I was like, yeah, this is my guy,
And he took to you right away too.
So he did, which was really sweet. But yeah, I adopted him only about not quite 2 weeks ago now. I think I've had him since the 10th, and this is the 23rd, so it's been just under 2 weeks. And first week was a little bit rough. We had some challenges. I also had just gone on a mission trip and was coming back from that, and just had a really emotional week. But just because of a few other things, somebody at the shelter was leaving that had been a part of Blackjack's time there, and he had been there for a couple years. This guy at the shelter was getting a new job or something, and so he was leaving, and I had committed to kind of coming as soon as I got back from my trip. I got the opportunity to do a weekend, a sleepover, they call it, with Blackjack before my trip. And I did
Yes.
that just to kind of try it and see how he did in my apartment for a couple of days. And it went pretty well. And so I was feeling pretty good about, coming back as soon as I was able to after my trip and taking him home.
Hmm.
And I was like prepared. I had researched, I had done all the things, I had all the stuff. I was ready to bring him home. And then coming off of that trip was just an emotional week.
Yeah.
Just yeah, it was just hard and had a rough week. The trip was amazing. I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit too. Um, but yeah, it was a rough first week. I think I was just really stressed, like all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I'm responsible for not only me living by myself, but now I'm responsible for a whole other thing, a whole other
Yeah.
animal. And I mean, I have my pet turtle, Tortellini, but he's very easy as a pet. So this was a big adjustment. And so it was, yeah, it was a little bit stressful for the first week. Had a few rough moments, but we're kind of both adjusting to each other a little bit better now and kind of learning each other. And this week has been a lot better so far. So, very grateful for that. Grateful to have just like a little companion that's really excited when you come
Yeah.
home. I'm sure you have that too. I think that's always really sweet. But yeah,
Okay, so what's your favorite thing about Blackjack?
about Blackjack, he is just such a sweetheart. Kind of like with Mello, like
Hmm.
he had a really rough past, and it's just amazing to me how dogs in general, and I think like especially Blackjack, just because I see it so much, how like they can just like overcome the
Oh, yeah.
past and just like the forgiveness that they can give, and the fact that Blackjack's story is they were pretty sure that he had been a bait dog, and that's what he was rescued from. And so he is very scared of a lot of people when he first meets them. Like right now, he's hiding in another room because he's a little scared of Aaron.
Yeah, a little wary.
And so, it's just amazing how sweet and how kind and gentle he can be
Yeah.
with people, even though he has probably been really badly abused in the past and gone through so much. Just how sweet and affectionate he is. Like right before you got here tonight to my apartment, I was sitting on the floor and you called me and you're like, I'm here. And I'm like, yeah, well, Blackjack is laying on top of me right
Yeah, I
now.
heard you on the phone like, Blackjack, you gotta
I
get
was
up.
like,
And
you've
he
got
was
to
like,
get up.
no.
He was just full on just laying on my lap and I could not move. So yeah, he's just such a sweet, sweet dog. And I think that's just the best part about him. Yeah, I think that's probably my favorite part about him. Yeah.
That's a good quality.
Yeah. So we love puppies. We love
We really
dogs.
do. It's been quite an adjustment. And like thinking about your timeline, like I didn't realize how you had just moved out on your own too.
Yeah.
So like your life went through a lot of changes in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And
I
that's a lot.
think that was one thing that I was talking to a couple of the people that I went on the mission trip with, like after coming back. We've been back. This is our like third week back now starting.
Hmm.
And um I think that was one thing that like really struck me about it was, we're down there and we're there for a week straight with the same people and we're all living in one big house together. We're sleeping in bunk beds, it's like a
Yeah.
whole thing. Like it felt like a summer camp. Like it just felt like you wake up every day and you're there with your friends and it was just such a like very community focused trip,
Yeah.
because the community that we were serving too in Honduras, La Paz, they are just very strong community. And the program that we specifically partner with when we go and serve in Honduras is literally community driven,
Hmm.
and it exists to provide and like meet needs for kids in the community, because essentially if they can't afford school supplies and if they can't afford a uniform, a backpack, and notebooks and pens and everything else, and if they can't buy those things, they are not allowed to go to school. And so this program kind of started as a way for those needs to be met for those kids, but it also provides a space for them to come and they get extra tutoring on top of their
Hmm.
schooling. And they get things like that a lot of kids don't get in Honduras.
It's an amazing program.
It is. It's a really great program. And so like we were kind of down there and I was just surrounded by a community day in and day out. And I come home and I'm living by myself.
Yeah.
And I think I was just really struck by like as much as I am like a pretty independent person in terms of like, I don't mind to do things by myself. It usually doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I was really hit by like, oh my gosh, I'm coming home to just me, and then I bring the dog in on top of it, and I'm like, okay, I am solely
It's
responsible
all
for
on
this
you.
dog.
Yeah.
And I think we
It's a
kind of
lot.
talked about that a little bit because, like, I mean, you too, like, you also are kind of the primary caregiver and you have your roommate, but like, it's your dog.
Yeah.
So, you are responsible for the potty breaks and you are responsible for the feeding and the buying the food and the buying the toys and
And what I wasn't prepared for
hmm
was clipping nails.
yeah, I'm not
I
looking forward to that.
I have such a fear of hitting their vein that's in them, the
hmm
quick,
hmm
that like it was paralyzing. I've been barely able to do it because he has, and I'm sure Blackjack does too, black nails.
hmm
So like I had a really rough night where I was trying to clip Mellow's nails because he came to me and they were pretty long,
hmm
and I just like I could never make the cut,
mm
and then I had a crash out because I was like, okay, I can't even clip his nails.
mm
How am I supposed to, you know, do all these things for him and give him a good life if I can't even clip a nail?
mm
And with the dogs we have, it's hard to go and take them to a groomer
hmm
and stuff because you never know how they're going to react in that situation. And if
yeah,
he's nervous with me and pulling away and
yeah,
jerking, then he's going to be even more so with the others. So, like, it's a lot of pressure, and like, even the little things, like, it adds up. So,
yeah.
like, your crash out, way more valid than mine because you had a lot more going on, but like, it happens.
Yeah. But no, I think that was like subconsciously thinking about it now and thinking about deciding to adopt Blackjack around the same time you adopted Mello. I
Yeah.
think it was good because we are kind of going through it together. And like, I know like I was freaking out because Blackjack had an accident in the house, like one of the
Yeah.
first mornings that I had him. And I was like, it's over. Like I can't do this, like I was I was freaking out. And again, just that first week was just so rough just emotionally on me to begin with, much less having the stress of having a shelter dog that has had a rough life and
Yeah.
is trying to adjust to living in a home for the first time and all of that. And I was really beating myself up about it. And so it's been really nice to like have somebody to talk to that is kind of going through it like alongside you.
Yeah.
So
It is really nice.
that has been, I think, probably really helpful for me. At least I know it's been super helpful just to have that and like to be able to share the funny stories and share the hard stories and be like, this is what happened, and then you give me a suggestion. And that's been really great, so thank you for that.
Of course. I think it's good grounding for us to
Yeah,
talk about
for sure.
because we go off the rails very easily. So,
Not us.
no, never us.
um but yeah, it's I'm so excited for the day when like we look back on this and are like, yeah, that was all so worth it because he's the perfect companion now.
Yeah.
Like I know for me at least, like I was struggling the first week because when we did our sleepover, he was so sweet and he was so affectionate and he was so calm the whole
Mm-hmm.
weekend. And then, I bring him home like for good, and we have accidents in the house and we
Yeah.
have this and we have that. And I was just kind of like, man, like what have I gotten myself into? Like I thought I was ready.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's I don't know. I can't wait until we can look back on this and are just like, man, I'm so glad we were like patient and went through it and like, didn't give up.
Yeah.
And like we gave the dog the attention and the time that they needed and deserved to have to adjust, and didn't give up when it got hard.
Yeah.
And then now they're our best buddy. Like I just
Well,
know
see,
for both of us it's going to work out so well.
this week, seeing Mello play with his toys on his own,
Yeah.
like
Cuz I know that was something for a long
that
time that
was,
he would like
I
not do.
almost cried. It was so sweet. And like, he's finally starting to come out of his shell. He's really getting into like the bed because I let him sleep in the bed with me.
Mhm.
He like stretches out and he'll show his belly. Like, he is
Mm.
relaxing, and
Oh,
it is so great to see.
yes.
So
That's such a good
it's definitely
milestone.
worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
before we get too emotional about these dogs. Oh man. Well, so okay, so I think we talked a little bit about Honduras and the trip and everything.
Mhm.
What did you do while I was gone? How was your week? I feel like I didn't really ever talk to you about that because I was in full crashing out mode when I got back.
What did I do?
It's been like 3 weeks now,
I know
so
that's rough. Well, obviously I did a bunch of schoolwork because I'm always doing schoolwork.
yeah.
Um, so I think that week I actually had an exam,
Mm.
and I think I got 100 on it. So
Woohoo.
put me on
Good
the
job.
fridge. Yeah,
Got a spot for you right
thank
there.
you. But work wise, it was kind of insane, I think.
Yeah, I had spotty cell service, and the only
Mm-hmm.
time that I was getting texts was when we were at the house that we were staying in, and I got like the tiniest little sliver of Wi-Fi, and I get this random text from you to our group at work, and you're just like, I can't believe this is going on, and I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I was getting like random texts coming through, and like I wasn't getting all of them, so I was just getting like two at a time or something, and then I was like, what's happening?
You know, I was crashing out hard. We had emergency cases. We had regular
Oh man.
stuff not working. Our IgM test always give me a hard time. And I think that was the week where I personally made more mistakes. Were you there
Mhm.
for when I did that?
No, that was, I think you're right because you
Okay.
were telling me about it when I got
Yeah.
home.
So I coded the plates wrong. So I didn't find that out till the end because that's the first step.
Yeah.
And I didn't find out till the last step when the like,
And it's a 3-day
yeah,
test. So day one, first step, and you don't find out until day three
till
after
day
you've done all
3.
the other
Yeah.
work.
And you're waiting for your colors to
Mm,
change. And then you're like,
they
there's
ain't
nothing
changing.
there. Um, but luckily I
Oh
was like,
man.
I know exactly what I did.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
And then the next day, was restarting the plate and I flipped it.
Mm,
Orientation, the dumbest mistake you can make, especially because like I draw on my plates. I make sure that I have visual aids to not flip it, and I added a reagent in while it was flipped. And the way the plates are built, you're running 2-3 different assays types
mm-hmm.
on that. So, or not assay, target types, but
Mm-hmm.
so that was a dud. I don't think any results for IgM got out that week because Tristan was redoing it with me,
Uh-huh.
and his negatives were too high. So I had to redo it the fourth time.
Fourth time's the
Yeah,
charm,
but you were
right?
back for that. So
Was that your good luck
I
charm?
guess so. Yeah, because
There we
now
go.
I'm
If
running
I'm ever
smooth as
not
can
there,
be. Yeah,
if
I'll
I'm
be
ever
like,
not there, you cannot run
I'm not
IGM.
running IgM. So it was just like a lot, and then also like you keep me sane at work. Um,
And I don't know how.
I
Because
it's
half the time it's just us fighting with each
yeah,
other.
which apparently I need because
You need to direct your energy at me instead of at the test or at yourself.
yeah, because I completely lost it, and like I had terrible anxiety, like my chest was always painful,
Mm,
like it was awful, and like time restraints, like me with the timing of the day and everything, and relying on other people,
mm-hmm.
I'm not good at it. So like that week I didn't have anybody like you. I feel comfortable to be like, hey, I'm stressed out about this time.
Yeah.
I like
We need to get this
I need to
done.
get this
Yeah.
so that I can breathe.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable doing that. And like I don't think they would necessarily be mean about it or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but I do think like it's annoying,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to be annoying to anybody but you apparently.
I didn't mean to agree with it. It's annoying. I was just kind of
No,
like
but
listening to your
like
story.
cuz it
Because
is.
I don't like, I understand though, because it's
Yeah.
very much like you kind of get a schedule in your head. And I do this, but not at work.
Yeah.
And I do this like if we're trying to make plans
Yeah,
to do
you do.
something. And I get a schedule in my head and I don't tell anybody about the schedule. It's only in my head. But then when we don't stick to the schedule,
It's a mess.
I'm
I
freaking
can't
out
handle it.
because we're not going to have enough time. I I'm not going to defend that. I have a defense for it, but I'm not going to defend it.
It's a bad
But
trait to have, but it's nice that I don't have it outside of work.
yeah,
You do.
yeah,
And I have it inside of work and you
right.
don't. So we complete each other.
Balances out. But yeah, I understand though, because it is like sometimes it's hard when, you know, oh, we have this kind of arbitrary, not arbitrary, but like we want to try to get stuff on by a certain time of the day if we want to get results out same day.
Right.
And
I think
it,
our logic is the sooner the better,
right, get it done.
especially for patient samples.
Yeah. And sometimes it just doesn't work out like that because if we are, if another one of our coworkers is working on a certain test that day and let's say she doesn't do it at a certain time because she gets pulled in a lot of different directions,
Yeah.
or she gets stopped, or she gets distracted, or she gets this, or she gets that. It's very easy when we're kind of like, okay, but she should be working already. She should be doing this.
Or like in my schedule, she's supposed to
In my
be there
schedule,
already.
she's supposed to be here and not here. And yeah, so it's really easy to do that with our job, I feel like, and kind
Yeah.
of like get in those modes. And I think like for me, I'm just kind of like, well, it's not our fault. Like we've done what we
Yeah.
can. So I'm not going to stress myself out about it. And like if our leadership is not stressed about it, I'm not going to stress about it. And that's kind of my mentality with work.
Yeah.
And I'm
And that's
coming around
fair.
to that with outside of work too. I'm trying to be a little bit better about that because I used to be super neurotic about being on time to stuff and like
Mm-hmm.
being here at a specific time or that, and like making plans and everything. And I'm coming around to like, okay, I don't have to have
A
every
set.
single minute set out and like laid out for me.
Yeah. No, that's
but
fair.
but
Easier
yeah.
said than done,
It
though.
is. It is. It's taken a while and I'm still not 100% there yet,
Yeah.
but I do try to just remind myself, like, it's
Yeah.
okay. You're fine.
And this is why you're so good at grounding me, because you do it to yourself anyways. So,
Anyways, that's us.
yeah.
What else were we going to talk about today? So I feel like we've caught up.
Yeah.
I know, yeah, it's been a couple weeks, well, a few weeks since we recorded last.
We
Um,
definitely did not stick to our schedule, but
no.
we're podcasting for fun.
Yes,
So,
that's very true.
this is what happens when life gets in the way.
Yeah.
And it always will.
Yeah. If there's one thing
That's
about life,
it's in the
it's gonna
way.
get in the way.
um
Yeah, so did you have some more random rapid fire questions?
yes. So, I found a list of 400 that I'm honestly, some of them are really interesting, some of them are
We're
not.
actually gonna go through all 400 right
Yeah,
now.
so buckle up. No, I'm just gonna scroll and randomly pick one
That
and we'll
works.
see what.
That works.
Okay. If you were given a chance to make one wish come true, what would it be? One wish.
Do you have one?
No. So this is I'm a genie with one wish. What is it? What would you wish for?
Oh gosh.
I think I have mine.
Okay, please go.
Okay. So I want the ability to, what is it called? When you can go one place to another without traveling.
Teleport.
Teleport. I want to be able to teleport.
Uh-huh.
And I want to be able to teleport like with people and with my things. So like me living in Florida, I zap in for a family event. No problem in Tennessee.
Yeah.
We have an 8-hour drive ahead of us.
No, we
We
don't.
don't. I'm teleporting there. No problem. You could go anywhere, no problem.
So I remember this is back when I was in like high school or something. I was talking with some of my friends and we were talking about teleporting. And
Mm-hmm.
we were like, if you were standing in the ocean when you teleport,
Do you
does the
teleport the
water
whole ocean?
does the water go with you? And I remember having a whole existential crisis about this.
Okay.
And so tell me how that would work with your
Well, my
theory.
question is, if I teleported right now, would your couch come with me?
Well, and that's what I want to know is how does your teleportation work? Do you have to consciously be like thinking of the thing, or like do you have to be like touching it with your hand, or do
Mm.
you have to be Like if you were sitting on the couch, if you're touching the couch, would you teleport?
And that's where the science comes in.
What's the science?
I have no idea.
Do tell.
I think in my perfect world, in my wish, they would be like, okay, here's your teleportation button.
Mhm.
Anytime you press this, you teleport. Caveat to that is before you press it, you write down a list.
The button can read?
Yes, it's a robot button.
Shit.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so it's like got like a Siri in it or whatever you want.
Oh shoot. You're making
So
more robots?
I guess
We don't have enough.
you're fine. Just this one so
I
that we can
can't
teleport
handle
18
it.
hours to Oklahoma, okay? But no, and you would write down, be like, hello, I would like to teleport to Tennessee with Shelby, last name, Aaron, last name, Bucky, my car, and everything within my car. And then I'd be like, teleport me to the driveway of my house, my parents' house. That way I don't
Yeah.
teleport my car into the house.
Right.
And I'm in the driveway.
Yeah. Okay.
Thoughts?
I
I think I solved all the problem.
right.
Because if I was just standing in the ocean, I'd just be like, just me, homie, none of the water. Plus my swimsuit. I don't know if I have to clarify if I
Right.
want my
I'm
clothes
like,
to
do all
come
the
with me.
clothes come?
I'd be like, me, everything on me, except the water.
Right.
And not the sand on my
That's crazy.
feet. Yeah, I don't know how specific I'd have to be.
Yeah.
It'd be trial and error
Yeah.
once I got my button, but we could figure it out.
Okay. Well, that's yeah, teleportation. I will work on that button for you.
Thank you. There's been like multiple times in my life where I've been like, I need to teleport.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Where's
need
that
it.
button at?
Where's that button? Okay, so your wish.
I think my wish would be that we could just not have to work.
No, because that's a great wish. Oh, I should have
like
thought of that.
like my thing is I don't not like the work that we do.
Hmm.
And like I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think it gives us a lot of freedoms to have like work life balance and stuff. Like
For
that's one
sure.
thing I really appreciate, especially like leadership and stuff. They're really good about no, like you're off, we're not going to call you,
Right.
unless you're on call, we're not going to call you. We're not going to bug you on your time off. Take your time, you know, don't worry about work, we'll figure it out kind of thing. And so I think like there's a lot to be said there, but I think like in an ideal world we would just be able to like work on our own schedule and
Like like a 2 days working,
yeah
5-day weekend. That's what it
yeah
should
or
be.
like even just like alternating days like where
Yeah.
it would because I think like part of the issue is that we have to go 5 days in a row
Yeah.
and it's just like why can't we take a day in between stuff. But yeah, so I think like if we could just pick and choose days and like work
I
enough to
agree.
still make what we want to make. You know what I mean?
So, COVID,
Uh-huh.
when I was working in my COVID lab, I started out 4 days a week, 40
Yeah.
hours still, so
Yeah.
10-hour shifts. But I worked Sunday, Monday, not Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
See, and that,
And that was so nice.
yeah.
Cuz
Even though the work was probably grueling and really hard when you were there.
yeah, but like your whole day was work anyways.
Yeah.
So like, and then you had the extra day in the middle of the week to do, because it's not the weekend,
Yeah.
do all your errands and everything.
Yeah.
Very
That would be really
nice.
nice. See,
Yeah.
that's like,
An
in an
extra day
ideal
to
world,
do.
I feel like, oh, shoot. Yeah, that might be the wish is like an extra day in the week for like a midweek.
Well, I still don't want to work 5 days a week.
That's true.
So just get rid of.
But if it was 5 out of 8 instead of 5 out of 7, better ratio. Still not
Yeah.
great, but
I think
yeah,
if
I
we
don't
get to
know.
choose, though, maybe we
Yeah.
keep it 7 days but work 4.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that would be my wish is like we just do away with the 5-day work week.
Yeah, honestly, it's grueling.
People have tried.
And I thought they succeeded for a while.
And
then
we
I
were
left
really
the
close.
job that was doing
Yeah,
4
and
days.
everybody else is still doing 5
And I said, this is outrageous. I thought we all agreed.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like I think maybe part of it is like I wish our work was more like shift work, but even like shift work I don't think is I wouldn't enjoy that.
Probably not.
But I don't know. That's like a silly thing, but I feel like I just wish that work weeks were different.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good one. I think that would make a lot of change.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. How many pizzas can you eat in a minute?
Pizzas or slices?
It says pizzas.
In a minute?
Yeah.
Not even one.
Okay. What if we did, you know those Tostitos?
Yeah. So how many pizzas can I eat in a minute? I don't think I could eat a whole pizza in a minute, truthfully.
Not even one of the square ones?
How big?
I'd say about that. You know them.
No.
The party pizzas. About the size of an iPad.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Where do
I
you
thought
get
you were
off?
going along the vein of like the Tostino's pizza rolls.
No. But that's an easier question to answer. How many Tostino pizza rolls do you think you could eat in a minute?
Probably an obscene amount.
Okay. My question for the group is, how hot are they?
Yeah, that I was gonna say if they're cooled down.
If there are
My timer starts once they reach an acceptable temperature.
Once I bite all the corners off them.
Well, so then your timer would start as soon as you start eating.
Well, no. One corner off each one to let the lava
I think that's
inside
cheating.
cool.
I think we'd have to cut the corners off of each one. We got to do this fair and square.
Okay, so we cut the corners off each one.
And once they reach an acceptable temperature, how many are you eating?
In a minute?
Yeah.
I think a solid 8.
Okay.
Yeah. Because my jaw be popping.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like I would probably eat more than 8.
How many?
I don't know.
There's a strong part of me that thinks
you know what?
Maybe I could eat one every 2 seconds.
Well, do you know what I'm realizing is that I don't know if I've eaten more than 8 pizza rolls in my lifetime.
That's the problem I'm coming up is I'm gonna get full before the minute.
Well, no, but I'm just talking about in general. Like I haven't eaten pizza rolls that many times.
Oh, okay. So you don't eat party pizzas, and you don't eat pizza rolls. What kind of pizza do you eat?
Regular pizza.
Like from a shop?
Yeah.
What'd you do in college?
I mean, like I eat pizza.
Right.
But it's just I just didn't like I didn't grow up on like the pizza rolls and stuff. Like I just didn't grow up eating a lot of that stuff. And I don't say that to be like, oh, I didn't grow up eating that. But like I say that to be like I just genuinely like I don't even know what I'm missing with some of that stuff. Do you know when I was in how old was I? 12. I was probably like 5th grade, maybe 4th, 5th grade, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at my friend's house from my dance class, and we were sitting there, and she's like, "Do you want a moon pie?" I didn't know what a moon pie was.
Those chocolate covered things?
Yeah, the like marshmallow. Yeah.
Yeah.
No idea what it was, and I was like, "What the heck is a moon pie?" And she's like, "You don't know what a moon pie is?" And she had me eat one, and I didn't like it. But my mom is diabetic, and so like when she got her diagnosis, because she's type 1, but it didn't set on until she was an adult.
Mm-hmm.
And so when she got her diagnosis, she like cleared out the house of like sugars, processed foods, everything. Like she was scared to eat anything but like salads basically for the longest time when she got her diagnosis. And so like with her being the one who primarily cooked in our house, it was rare that we had stuff like that. And I'm not like, again, I'm not saying this to be like, oh, we were bougie and we were this and we were that and we're better than you because we didn't have pizza rolls. But like, I don't think I had a pizza roll until I got into college. And I just don't have like a taste for them. Like they don't have the
Yeah,
nostalgia for me, I think,
that's
because I didn't
fair.
grow up eating them. They don't have the nostalgia for me. So it's not like something that like I just get all the time. Like every once in a while I might get them at the grocery store for myself.
They were
But
very much a party food
yeah,
for us.
that's like some of the only times that I would have had them would have been at a party. And even then, like I might not have even realized what they were. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like going to like birthday parties and stuff as a kid. But yeah, I don't know.
makes sense.
I do feel like though I could eat a lot of them at once.
Okay.
But yeah,
You want to throw a number on it, or are we just sticking with whatever you think a lot is?
I don't know. I just I genuinely don't know. I feel like probably like you said 8.
Yeah, I did.
I feel like I could probably eat like 10.
10. I
Maybe,
think we're
maybe more.
lowballing it,
I think so too. I'm like maybe more, but like
but I also just don't.
but that's also in a minute. That's
Yeah,
a lot of
I'm afraid
calories
of
to be taken.
choking.
Yeah, that's a lot of calories to be taken in a minute
I'm
for
afraid
one
my
thing.
jaw's gonna hurt. I'm afraid I'll choke. Like, there's a lot of factors to take into consideration with this.
Yeah. So, I don't
I'm
know.
just not a competitive
But
eater.
no, and me either.
So I think 8 is ambitious
Like
for
I
me.
know that I'm a fast eater,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think that I would win any competitions because I'm not going to choke myself to eat a hot dog. You know what I
You know
mean?
what I don't understand is in these competitions, they're dunking their food in water
Right.
to make it go down
That's not
easier or
enjoyable.
whatever.
Why are
But
you
like, where's the fun in that?
why are you
Where's the
doing
good
that?
taste? Like,
Yeah.
I want to eat my pizza rolls with ranch.
Yeah.
You know, I
And
want to sit
enjoy.
back and enjoy them. I don't
I
want
want to
this minute.
I want to take my time with these pizza rolls.
If I'm having them, I want to have a good time with them.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's all my questions.
Okay.
I think two's good. Two's good.
Okay.
There's no more to that. Just two's good.
Well, so I know we talked a little bit about doing a book club segment.
We did.
I know we've both read the first book
We
in that
have both read the
series.
first book
It's
of the
been a minute.
series. I think I was reading it when we did our
Yeah,
first
you had
episode.
started it, I'm pretty sure.
And I'll tell you right now, I don't even remember the characters' names. So I remember enjoying it.
Yeah.
I
It
think,
was good. It was solid.
yeah, I think for this next episode, let's do a book club. Read the second book.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of talk about both of them because
Yeah.
that'll jog my memory.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Like, I
Or we could
know.
finish out the series. Well, before I commit to that, because I got school and trips home, and
Yeah, that
it'll
might
be
be a
another
lot.
month before y'all see us.
But yeah, we'll talk about books. We'll talk about the Red Queen series.
Yes.
Yeah, overall, first book, I enjoyed it. Same. It has been a while since I read it. I can't really tell you the characters' names.
I feel like there's a Clark.
I don't think
Doesn't
so.
sound familiar.
um,
All right.
but yeah, so we'll refresh. We'll come
Yeah.
back and actually talk more in depth about it. But I will say, it was an easy read. Like it was one of those
It
that's
was
like
very quick,
it's
too.
fantasy, but it's not like that super high fantasy where it's like my brain has to be on to understand it. It's a very like
Yeah, you
I
don't.
won't say simple concept, but it's like pretty easy to grasp. Like
Yeah.
it gives the reader credit because it's not like so simple that it's like, okay, what does she think I'm stupid? But it also is like interesting enough to keep
Yeah.
you like, oh, what's going to happen
No, I
next?
agree.
How is
And
this going to
it's
unfold?
one of those where you don't need the map to read it. You
Yeah.
know how most of those fantasy books come with a map.
Yeah, and I don't be
And
consulting
then
the map.
no, me either. And they just be saying all these places, and
And we went
then
here to here, and I'm like, how long did that take? 30 minutes? And they're
they're
like,
like
actually, we were on the
2
road for
dragon flaps, and I'm like, they're
they're like,
like
actually,
3
we were
weeks
on the
later.
road for 2 months. And I'm like, what?
Huh?
It's there to there.
Yeah. But that it's not like that, which
No.
I liked
Yeah.
because I like we were in one place.
Yeah.
for majority of it, weren't
Yeah,
we?
which was nice.
I like a central location.
But yeah, so we'll talk about the books a little bit more next time.
Yeah.
And we'll catch up because I'm sure it'll be another few weeks
Hey,
before
our
we
goal
can
is
sit
2
down and
weeks.
record again.
Our goal is every 2 weeks.
Our goal is 2 weeks.
And one day we'll meet it.
So I guess we could talk about what we have planned in the coming couple weeks.
Yeah.
What you got going on?
Well, I'll be headed home for 4th of July. I'm taking Mello to meet my family. He's going to meet my parents' dog, Katie, so hopefully that goes well.
Yeah.
Katie doesn't know a lot of other dogs, so a little nervous because we'll be staying there in Katie's house. But he's going to meet all my siblings, my parents, my cousins, because it's 4th of July, and my family is big on 4th of July. My dad is making a cider and a seltzer for the 4th of July party, so that'll be fun. He dabbles in distilling beer and whatnot, so
fun.
I'm glad he's branching out.
To ciders and seltzers.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo!
That's what I drink. I think that's what I got planned. Honestly, I think I come back from that trip, I'm here for a week, and then I go on the family beach vacation.
Oh, okay.
Which, they're not coming here. Different beach entirely. So I'll be traveling to a different beach in Florida.
Perfect.
But I'll be with my family, so
nice.
That'll be nice.
Good deal.
What about you? What's going on?
Well, so this weekend, this Saturday, I'm going to Disney.
Ooh, fun.
And it has been a long time since I have been to Disney. But I'm going for one of my friend's birthdays who lives in Atlanta, so I never get to see him. But he has been talking about doing Disney maybe for his birthday for like ever now. And
finally happening.
It's finally happening. So this is my friend Tyron, who I travel with.
Yes.
We've gone on all kinds of trips, literally all over the world.
He's the fashionista.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Big fashionista. He is so fabulous.
No, yeah. His pictures, amazing.
Yeah, shout out Tyron. He'll probably never listen to this.
But he could, and if he does, he'll get a compliment.
Yes. But yes, Tyron is awesome, and I'm really excited because him and my other friend Caleb, who we always do these trips together, the three of us, we only ever see each other when we travel together. And so this is kind of fun because it's kind of like not quite in our backyard. Orlando's still a little ways away from us and Jack's, but
not as big of a trip, more relaxed.
Yeah. It's going to be a day trip for me. It's going to be a long day, but it's going to be a day trip. And yeah, I think maybe I'll get my parents to keep blackjack. So we'll see. He's blowing about it back there.
He said no.
But he loves my mom. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so looking forward to that. And then other than that, I don't really have anything super big planned. Probably try to figure out what I'm doing for the 4th. I think like my church is doing fireworks. So I may go there. Or some of my parents' friends always do like a big blowout cookout thing, kind of like what your family does.
Yeah.
Invite a bunch of people. So I may end up somewhere like that, but we'll see.
Fun.
Yeah. That's about it though.
Good times, good times.
And after all that happens, we'll catch up with y'all.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Again, if you're a repeat listener,
yeah, shout
welcome
out
back
to our friends and family for listening to us yap a little bit.
Yes, we appreciate it. Because yeah, this is just fun and it's silly, and you know, if nothing comes of it, nothing comes of it. But if somebody gets a little giggle out of it every once in a while, that'd be awesome.
That's all we're looking for, a little giggle.
So yeah, we enjoy this, and we enjoy yapping and sitting here and doing this. So fun times. Thanks for joining.
Bye.
Bye.